Umarex have done it again. They've produced another replica, and it's not another Glock before anyone starts. And whilst it is famous and a mass-produced gun from history, it is from more recent history than, say, the Underlever from the Wild West or any of the military replicas. This time, it's the Ruger 1022. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. It's replica time, but with a difference. Firstly, let's start with the history lesson. This one is in more recent history and starts only as far back as the 60s. And I've actually found a historic replica that's younger than me. Just. Oh dear. The Ruger 1022 long rifle was originally designed in 1964 and was loosely styled around the US 30 caliber M1 carbine. This gave it familiarity and added to its desirability. It was manufactured by Sturm Ruger & Co., with over 5 million of them being produced, and it's still in production today. This thing became so popular that you could pretty much walk into any Walmart and pick one up. They were cheap to buy and used low-cost 22 caliber ammunition. It quickly became one of the most common 22 caliber rimfire rifles around. It was originally produced with a 10-round rotary magazine, but higher capacity box magazines soon became available as aftermarket options. With these higher capacity mags and the semi-automatic action, it was very easy to give this gun machine gun style capabilities. As you can probably imagine, there soon became loads of different variations on the basic gun. These included target, compact, carbine and sporter versions. There were also takedown light and tactical versions, and many more. The list just goes on and on. Umarex have made a replica of the polymer stock basic version, and yet again made this so close to the original, it's scary. Let's take a walk round, shall we? Well, the name 1022 represents the original magazine capacity and the caliber. In the CO2 version, the caliber has actually changed to 177 rather than use the heavier .22 pellets. It is 945 millimeters, or just under 37 inches long, and weighs in at a little over 2 kilograms or 4.2 pounds, which is only 5 millimeters longer than the original and weighs about 250 grams less than the original. The barrel is about 25 millimeters, or about an inch longer though than the original, at 495 millimeters or 19.5 inches. It is all black and has a simple, unfussy polymer stock which has stippling to the grip and forestock, on top of which sits the rifle barrel, sporting open sights on the front and adjustable pop-up sight to the rear. I say adjustable, it does only appear to be adjustable for elevation and not windage. Whilst we're talking about sights, there is no rail on this for scopes, etc., because there wasn't on the original. I believe an aftermarket rail would need to be purchased to add a scope or the like. And, knowing Umarex, the aftermarket rail you would use on the original is likely to slot straight onto this one. So, realistically, this is going to be for open sight shooting and plinking rather than any competition target work. I must say the lines on this are beautiful, and the fit and finish is really excellent. The branding logos are very tastefully done and not overly garish. The trigger housing is plastic and houses the manual safety, which again is nicely made and locks the trigger completely. Fire mode shows a red indicator. In front of this is the dropout rotary magazine, which yet again mimics the original down to the embossed Ruger logo on the bottom. Loading this is simplicity itself. Simply squeeze and pull to release the magazine. Once out, pull back on the slide, the red 10-round magazine will be released. Load up with your preferred 177 pellets, drop it back into the mechanism and return the locking pin. Then return this to the underside of the gun, slot back, and you're ready for fun. At this point, I should point out that the cocking arm can be used after each shot. This will then rotate the magazine and ease the pressure on the trigger, rather than simply keep pulling the trigger and making it do the mechanical work. But if you want that machine gun type approach, then you're just going to have to use the trigger. So this is CO2 powered, but where does the CO2 go? Simple, it fits into the butt section. Using a coin or the like, simply turn it, which will reveal the tool that you're going to need. Slot in the back and turn. It does take some doing. And once you've got it unscrewed, pull out, and then it will take two 12-gram CO2s back to back. Now you can, if you want, simply put one used and one full rather than two full, depending on how much you're going to use. It makes no difference whatsoever to the power figures. Once you've got them in, return the thread, tighten it up, it does take a bit of twisting, slot the butt back into place, and you're ready to go. Now it's gassed up, let's get this on the chrono. Remember, this is not a hunting gun, it's a fun replica for a little back garden plinking, so I'm not expecting high figures. Using 8.44 grain JSBs, it saw a maximum of 515 feet per second, which is 4.97 foot-pounds or 6.74 joules. In an attempt to get some higher velocity figures, I then used H&N Target Trophy Greens, which are alloy and weigh in at a lesser 5.56 grains, and this did see the FPS figures rise to a maximum of 571, but due to the lighter weight saw only 4.04 foot-pounds or 5.46 joules. Again, confirming this is about the replica ownership and plinking fun, definitely not for any real vermin hunting. Okay, let's take this thing out now and do what it's designed for, shall we? Bear in mind this is open sights, no red dot or sighting aids, but it is pellet and a rifle barrel. So, here we go. It's really great fun and it's accurate enough for what we want to use it for. The sights are only adjustable up and down, there is no side to side, so you've got to make an allowance for that. But what this is really about is that rapid fire. That's where the fun begins. Well, hats off to the guys at Umarex yet again. I'll give them credit where it's due. They do know how to make a quality replica. Price-wise, this comes in at about £190 UK retail, and it is designed for plinking. Some would say that's a lot for a plinking gun, but when you look at the underlever replica, maybe this represents quite good value, and it is a replica. It's down to personal choice, but any company that gives as much choice as Umarex does really has to be praised. Now, I've enjoyed this more than I thought I would do, to be honest. And you know what? Mrs. AAR even got in on the fun as well. And it really is great fun. Thanks for watching. All guns shown are compressed air in springs, CO2 or pre-charged forms and are not gunpowder based. The programme is aimed at being informative, entertaining